So let's start our this small workshop. So few requests before we begin. So most of the time you're supposed to be muted and your camera should not be on. Okay. So we have a proper question answer session. During that time, you can, if you want, you can switch on your camera and ask the question. In entire this workshop, whenever you have any question in the chat box, please paste your question. Okay. And it may be I will not answer your question what you asked today. Sometimes it happened that whatever your question is maybe related to some other session, and in that I may cover that answer. Okay. So be patient. Okay, I try to answer all the questions whatever is popping up in your mind. Okay, and feel to write all the questions in the chat box. Okay, and in the during the QA you can ask in even verbally also. Okay, so this is just general instruction. Along with that, few more things. Please keep handy pen, paper, pencil. Okay, so that we during our analysis, I will ask you to do certain things, and that you have to do it. Okay. Few more suggestion. It is better if you sit comfortably over the on the floor. Okay, as compared to on the chair or anything. If not possible, then it's fine. But when you sit on the chair and during the practice session, make sure you should not lie down on the chair. Okay, or on the bed or anything. You're supposed to be sit not much comfortably, in the sense your back supposed to be erect, your neck is erect, your head is erect, and in the straight position you're supposed to sit. Okay, so that is general instruction. And now let's understand this entire workshop, and then we begin our today's session. Okay, so this workshop is about the analyze, understand, and regain the control. Okay, so for specific reason I gave this type of the name. Okay, one reason is that if I ask you straight away, look, different way one can execute the workshop. Okay, one way is give you certain dialogue, and then you are happy with my dialogue, and just job is done. Okay, something one can do even detail. I will give you certain technique so that you can like that technique and you can do by your own way, and the job is done. But another way is we understand certain basics, and then we learn certain technique, and then immediately we apply it. Okay, so that's why I gave this as a workshop. It's not something like a lecture series or anything. Workshop, that means you have to execute whatever you learn immediately. It's like a practice. Okay, and practice and analyze, and then understand what the wrong or what the right is going on inside us. Okay, so this workshop is all about to understand what is going inside, not outside. Okay, right now in the day in and day out, we are only look at outside, not inside. Okay, that is our normal way of working, and that way of working is fair enough when we want to interact or when we want to work in the outside of world. Okay, but that is not the correct way. If we look at 24 by 7, if we only look at outside, that is not the correct way to live our life. Okay, if we really want to live a very beautiful, peaceful, and happy life, then we have to have a habit to dive inside. Okay, to look at inside what's going on, and what's going on, not only what's going on, but what's going on correctly and what's going on wrongly. If something going on wrongly, can we have a control over it? That means, can I control my thought process? Can I control my desire? Can I control all my emotions? Can I control my body language? Can I control what I am doing in this body, and what and how I am reacting the outer world? Okay, if I have a control over it, then perfectly all right. Then we are living a very beautiful and peaceful life. If we don't have that control, that means we never think about it. Okay, if we never think about it, then we cannot regain the control over it. Okay, so this workshop give us certain platform, or give us certain ideas, and give us certain technique. Based on that, every day we going to do certain analysis for ourselves, not what's going outside. Okay, outside everything is going in their order, but whatever is going inside, that we have to make it in the proper order, so that outside world also look in the proper order. Okay? That is the idea behind it. Okay, So in this entire workshop, every day we spend something like 40 or 50 minutes about certain topics. Okay, and based on that topic, whatever my thought process, I will give you certain ideas about it. Okay, and certain stories I will tell you, so that you can correlate your understanding based on the stories. Okay, sometimes it's very easy to correlate something based on certain, you can say, stories, or certain, you can say, movies or something. We are very easily uh, remember some dialogues of the movies. Okay, why? Because when something is playing, our mind will immediately grab that ideas. Okay, so based on that, I will tell you certain stories, so that you will correlate based on that story what's happening in your life also. Okay, so what we're going to do for 50 minutes or 40 minutes is about this, all the ideas and the thought process. Okay, afterwards, I will give you some concrete techniques. Okay, so technique, that means during the techniques you have to switch off yourself. That means we have to switch off all our senses. That means we have to switch off our eye, so that we not look at what's going on outside world. So very easily we are distracted by our eyes. Okay, so if eye is closed, then one sense is, we immediately switch off from the outer world by one sense. Okay, then we have a ear. So with the help of the ear we can hear something, but here I am giving you the specific instruction, so that you can concentrate about what I am telling to you. Okay, so like that way you have a proper control over that also. Okay, and smell and all this thing is, wherever you are sitting, if not much smell is coming up, then you are much more concentrated on the present state. Okay, same with the taste and all the touches. Okay, so these five senses we have to look at in the very detailed way, so that we are interacting with this five senses only toward the outer world. Okay, so when we go toward the technique, we have to do that. And on the deeper level, when we move, we have to also look at what's going on inside our brain. So what's going on inside our brain, we have to look at very keenly. Okay, so that only possible if we switch off from the outer senses. That means if we switch off ourselves from the outer world, then it's very easy to look at what's going on inside. Okay, otherwise it's very difficult to look at what's going on inside. And when we move inside of us, that means when we start looking at what going on inside, we will come across certain levels of our understanding. Okay, so first we look at our simple brain, what's going on inside the brain. Okay, so very shortly I will give you my understanding about the brain. Okay, then we look at the brain very keenly, then we come across certain few more understanding about it. At the deeper level, we look at some type of the emotions that is normally we have. Okay, and then like that way we have a complete idea what's going on inside. Okay, based on that understanding, immediately after that we have a certain questionnaires. Okay, someday we have questionnaires, someday we don't have a questionnaires. Okay, so for the questionnaires I will upload the link of Google form in our this chat box. Okay, so immediately after this 30 minutes of practice, we have to go toward the self analysis. Okay, self analysis, that means the questions is based on our understanding how we live our life. Okay, so my suggestion is, please give your fair answer. Okay, whatever you are feeling, that you give. Okay, not your mind telling to you that you give. Okay, whatever is your feeling telling to you, please give that type of answer, not based on your mind answer. Okay, so that analysis allow us to understand, basically speaking, what's going on right and what's going on wrong. Okay, so afterwards we have to have our own interpretation about our understanding. Okay, so where we do very detailed self analysis, and based on that self analysis certain questions emerge. So at the end we will going to look at that all the questions. Okay, so this is how we're going to work for all the 5 days. Okay, now let's look at today's topic. So today's topic is about the mind, memory, future, past, thought, emotion, desire, and self analysis. So when we say that we are a evolved human being. Okay, so why we say we are a very much evolved human being, what the differentiate us with the other animal? We say we also the animal, but we just evolve animal. Okay, but what is that different characteristic we have that the any of other animal don't have. One important characteristic that human have is they can control, if they wish, their brain. Okay, but the animal cannot control that part. Okay, other thing is we can have a very important characteristic with us, that is the awareness, that the animal cannot have the awareness. Okay, but when we want to go from mind toward the awareness, first we have to understand the mind. If we understand the mind, then it's very easy to move from mind toward the awareness. Okay, because sometimes we understand mind and awareness is both same, but it's not the correct way to look at both the things together. So mind and awareness is completely different. So first understand what we can say is the mind. Okay, so when we say it is mind, sometimes you are we have a two type of the mind. We have a bigger mind, we have a small mind. We have a, you can say, the controlling mind and the uncontrolled mind. Okay, one can say it is a conscious mind and subconscious mind. Okay, so different definition about the mind, but purely speaking, when we say we have a mind, we have a two layers of the mind. Okay, one layer of the mind with which we are interacting with the outer world. Okay, that is our conscious mind. Conscious mind means what? We are conscious about what is happening. You are listening to me, you are conscious about my word. You are watching to me, my movement of the hand, you are conscious about what I am look like and what I am talking. Okay, so this consciousness is come with what? With the different senses. Okay, so we have five senses, and all five senses has certain, you can say, center in our brain. So five senses give certain signals. Okay, and that signal will reach till the mind center, and mind center will try to analyze and then react based on that. Okay, so here is the catch. So this consciousness, if we are not continuously conscious about what is happening, then without our understanding we quickly react. How we react? Let's say somebody abuses us, without understanding anything we immediately react, either in the same way or we are physically react. Okay, so we must have a clear understanding about this conscious mind. What it means, clear understanding about this conscious mind, that means when we say that what is happening around us, are we always conscious about what is happening around us or not? Conscious, that means when somebody is speaking to us, are we consciously listening to them or not? Okay, if we are eating, are we just eating or just not eating? Okay, whenever we are doing something, are we conscious about what we are doing? Okay, so that entire thing is governed by our, you can say, upper level of the mind, that is we say the conscious mind. Okay, conscious mind has a different function, like it allows us to interact with the outer world and make ourselves comfortable in the outer world. Okay, so that also finally give us certain feelings and the understanding about the outer world. Okay, but that particular part of the mind is, you can say, the, you can say, mechanically workable mind. Okay, so by a mechanically workable mind, let's say you are driving always the automobile, your vehicle, either two-wheeler or the four-wheeler. Sometimes you notice that automatically you are driving your car. Okay, so you need not to do very detailed aspect about it, but that automation, from where it is coming? In the conscious world, that automation is not straight away come, so that automation come with the deeper level of the mind. Okay, so there is a switch between your conscious world and the subconscious part of it. Okay, so outer, where whatever we are interacting with the outer world is straight away related to our conscious mind. Okay, then what about this deeper level of the mind? Why it is important? Okay, and what is its fundamentally part in entire of our life? Okay, so let's say day in and day out we are gathering the data. Okay, with the five senses, if we are aware or not aware, we are 24 by 7 gathering certain data with this five senses. Okay, and the data is rich inside, okay, inside of our brain at the deeper level. Okay, and in the deeper level, whatever the impression the conscious mind is giving to this, the deeper level of the mind, based on that entire of our life will be governed. Okay, sometimes we see that, okay, we are working very hard but not result is coming. Reason is what? We are never penetrated till the deeper level of the mind. If we able to penetrate till the deeper level of the mind, then result will come very easily and very quickly. Okay, so that plus This deeper level of mind is very, very important, but we never think and never thought about the deeper level of the mind. Or you sometime you heard about, let's say, subconscious mind or the small mind, or like that way. So when we look at this entire proportion of our brain, then 1/10 of the brain is our outer brain. Okay, 9/10 is our inner brain. Okay, so we never look at this 1/9/10 brain tuning. Okay, we hardly speaking, we never even look at the even 1/10 brain tuning. Okay, we just reacting and just using that brain, but we never try to look at and analyze and control that particular part of the brain. So this 9/10 portion of the brain is very, very important. Why it is very, very important? Because whatever the data based on our five senses we are giving, the data is stored inside of that deeper level. Okay? Then what the deeper level is going to do? Based on the continuous habitual data that reach the deeper level, based on that, the deeper level apply that principle in our life and in the physical world that will appear to us. Okay, what it means, please understand in the different way. Okay, let's say we want to lose certain type of the habit. Okay, let's say right now everybody is using this our mobile phone continuously. Okay, so mobile phone is continuously used. Can we stop using the mobile phone? Okay, how one can stop using the mobile phone? If we try to part up in the very detailed way towards this our subconscious mind, then it's possible to, you can say, control that our habit towards this use of the mobile phone. But how to penetrate till the deeper level, for that certain way you can do it, that we're going to learn in this entire workshop, how you can part up the deeper level so that our physical world will be changed. Okay, few more aspect over here. When we talk about this mind, okay, mind, along with the mind we always correlate with the memories. Okay, so memory, mind and the thought and the emotions are sometimes is all correlated. Okay, so mind function, if we talk about this conscious mind function, to gather the data, give the data towards the our mind's you can say center. Okay, and it will analyze the data. Okay, then from where this memory will going to play the role. So when we talk about the memories, okay, so memory is nothing but the continuous impression that is we are getting from this conscious portion of the mind, and it will stored in the layer by layer in our brain, and as and when required it will very handy towards our understanding or towards our use. Okay, so that is part of the memory. We are not much worried about this memory, because one can enhance the memory and one can decrease the memory by just signaling properly toward the deeper level of the brain. Okay, somebody sometime we are hearing from our old age people, they are saying we are losing our memories. Why they are saying we are losing the memory? Because they gave that type of signal to their brain that we are losing our memory, I am not remembering what is happening. Okay, it not the brain is doing, but we are giving the signal to our brain that look, now we don't want to remember too much, so please switch off. Okay, so that is how the memory one can enhance and decrease. It's very easy way to look at it. But more important aspect in our day-to-day life is our thought process. Okay, normal person in entire day, more than 65,000 to 80,000 of thought in our waking state we are passing through that much of thought process. Okay, so from where this all thoughts is coming, I give you the very simple way. Look at the thought process. When we look at the thought, we have two type always the thought. One is the good thought, another is the bad thought. But if you analyze yourself, then I say normal human being always have a much more negative or the bad type of thought as compared to the positive or the good type of the thought. So from where this thought process will emerge? Okay, I bluntly say thought is nothing but, let's say, from this all the five senses, we are acquiring some type of the garbage and putting in our the dustbin as a brain. Okay, and this brain is mingle and juggling that all the garbage and throwing the smell, bad smell or the good smell. Sometimes we acquire the flower in the dustbin, we have a very good thought. So maximum time we are acquiring the garbage only. Why is a garbage? If two persons are discussing even though that discussion is not related to both the person, till both are happily discussing. So we are acquiring garbage only. In the WhatsApp, we have lots of message. Out of that, how many messages is useful to us? We are acquiring garbage only. Okay. In the outer world, we are habitual to acquire the garbage, and that garbage is stored in one type of the container. We say it's the brain, and the brain is juggling all the garbage in the different quality and give you the orders, okay, bad smell and the good smell. Okay, sometimes we have a good thought, sometimes with that good thought we become happy. So that good thought, you simply correlate that some type of the flower is fall in that garbage, and that flower is giving us the very good smell. Okay, so thought process is simply whatever the data we acquire from the outer world, and we are juggling that data in our brain, and the brain is in return give us some type of the smell. Okay, so it's simple. In the blunt way, I correlate the thought process something like that way. So thought process is continuously happening. Okay, can we have a switch? Can you acquire the switch in your brain? You can switch off, thought will close. Can it possible? Can it is possible for me to just switch off that switch, on and off button? I don't want any thought because I'm concentrating on something. Let's switch off that so that thought will not disturb me. Can we acquire this test? Can we receive that on and off switch? It's possible. For that, we have to work towards it, then it is possible. Okay, that part we will discuss later, how we can move toward that. Then on the thought process, when we look at the thought process, then after the thought process or the deeper level, we have a different type of the emotions. Okay, so emotions and thought, how it is oriented, plus understand that way. Okay, so thought, from all the conscious awareness we are gathering the data, it's dumped into our mind, it will mingle up and give us some type of the thought process. If some person is continuously thinking about some type of the aspect, and that continuous thought process is finally lead toward the emotions. Okay, so whatever the emotion at beginning, it look like a thought, and from the thought we are moving toward the emotions. Okay, so we have a consciousness. From the consciousness we gather the data, we move toward the thought process. From the thought process, if I continuously think and think about some particular aspect, and then finally we reach toward the emotions. Okay, so one mind, thought, emotions, and all are correlated. Okay, here, based on the thought process, our entire life is governed. Why? If I continuously think positively, that means I will give the continuous signal of positivity towards my subconscious mind or deeper mind. It will reflect the same thing in my outer world. Okay, it is saying that we look at whatever in entire world is something like a two-time happening. One time it happened in somebody's brain, and then it physical world we will see that. Okay? That means whatever your current state of affair, whatever is current condition, is based on your entire thought process. Okay, it is not depend on somebody else. It is our own thought process that lead us towards our current state of affairs. Okay, so if we change the thought process, if we control the thought process, if we have a somehow the barrier or somehow the filter about the thought process, so that we have a only good thought that will enter till the 9/10 portion of the brain, and all other thought we can discard, then we going to get a very drastic or immediate change in our life. Okay, but how to do that we will understand at the later stage. Okay, so we have a thought, we have a memory, we have a emotions. Okay, now when we want to look at this entire structure of working, okay, so mind job is to acquire the data, analyze it and store it, and based on the storage it will reflect in our physical world. Okay, so to train our brain in the proper way, to train our brain in the constructive way, what are the obstacles that we are looking at, or what are the obstacles that we ourselves are putting in the entire scenario? So first understand that part. Okay, we have a too much attachment. Okay, we have a too much attachment to all the things. That means we have a first very much attachment with this body. Okay. So this attachment with the body is the first barrier. Okay. Somebody, just if I write my name, okay, if somebody into the bracket write something, I offended immediately. But this is just the label on this body. So do this name, what is given, my name is, let's say, Trushar. Okay. Somebody tune the Trushar with the different word, okay, and they throw that word to me. Will it affect to me? It will not affect to me. If I understand it correctly, it hardly affect to me. Okay. But if my understanding is poor, I immediately start reacting it. Okay. So first obstacle in entire of this, you can say, mind working, we are creating certain image. Okay. And that image, what we created, we have a very good attachment with that image. Okay. So first of all, we have very good attachment with this body. Okay. This body we love like anything. Okay. Something happened to this body, we immediately come out for the fighting. Okay. So this attachment is very, very, you can say, very, very strong attachment we have, and because of this strong attachment, we have a barrier of understanding. Okay. And along with this attachment, immediately come the misunderstanding. Okay. Why is a misunderstanding? Because our understanding is first of all very false. We said this name is given to this body, that means this body is very, very important. Okay. And we have a complete attachment with the body, but we never think beyond the body. Okay. So if we never think beyond the body, we have very close attachment with this body, as well as with the body, whatever is attached with the body, we have very close attachment with everything. That means in the physical world, whatever is belong to me, I have lots many attachment. Okay. My family, my possessions, everything, I have a very strong attachment with everything. Okay. So that attachment is, you can say, very much obstacle to all the things. Okay. So this attachment we have to understand in very, very detailed way, that we're going to do in the subsequent classes. Okay. But this attachment is one of the barrier. If we don't have that much of attachment, then what going to happen? We will perceive the outer world with the different spirit, and if we perceive the outer world with the different spirit, that means we gather the data with the completely different brain. And if we gather the data with the completely different brain, then our reaction is also completely different. So this is very, very important to understand, that our habitual attachment with our possession is one of the barrier. Okay. If we somehow try to loosen that barrier, then our progress is definite. Okay. Now, when we are doing certain analysis, okay, and when in this 5 days, whatever we're going to do, it just the seed I am trying to plant in your brain. That's it. Okay. So don't expect that in the 5 days time there is a 180-degree turn in your life. No, but it's just the starting point. I will give you the concrete technique. If you continuously apply for something like, you can say, minimum 2 months time, then there is a huge, or you can say, the 360-degree turning point will be definitely waiting in your life. Okay. But it's not going to happen in just the 5 days time. Okay. So please be patient. Okay. Because we acquire our habitual thought process in the sense our entire life. Okay. So it's not very easy to revert back in just the 5 days time. It takes huge time to do that. Okay. But good news is it's possible to do it. Okay. Let's understand one story. There is one small, very little boy, okay, who is roaming near to his own village. Okay. It's very old time. Okay. So where all, you can say, not very hi-fi motorized vehicle and everything is brought in the road. It's like a cart and that type of scenario. That boy was very close to his house, but because he's quite 100 years boy, so he just leave the premises and move on. Okay. Immediately when he moved out, somebody caught him. Okay. And some, you can say, some of the thief was coming, so they show this boy and they say, okay, let's take with us and we will sell this boy at some place. Okay. So they cover the boy face and take the boy, and put it on the cart and moving. During that exactly same time, the one temple bell was ringing. Okay. So the temple bell was ringing as he's moving away from his village. The sound of the temple boy, sorry, sound of the temple was bell sound of the temple was marked or impressed in his very deeper level of the brain of that particular boy. As he's moving, the sound was becoming faint and faint and faint. And that boy was carried by the theft, and then they will sell out at some other places, and that boy was, you can say, kept on that particular places for 2 3 years. And then when he become little older, he understand that this is not my correct location. I have to go back to my original place. Okay. So how he supposed to go back to his original place? Only one thing he has, that the impression of that one sound, that the ringing bell sound. So that ringing bell sound is only one and only one key with that boy, so that he can regain his original position. So somehow he escaped from that camp and start moving, first of all, away from that camp. Okay. And then one village to another village, he was moving and wandering. Okay. And his job is just to listen to the sound of that bell. Okay. Only one bell sound he remember. If the bell sound is, you can say, in line with his what impression, then he stays some more time, otherwise moving. Okay. Like that way he wandered from one village to another village. One day he was just lying on the roadside. Okay, and he heard very faintly some sound of the bell. Okay. Immediately he realized that, okay, this bell sound is more like in nature with what he is impressed. Okay. So he goes toward that bell sound, and finally he noticed that this is his own village, and he acquired his own home again. Okay. So what the story is telling to us, we have a that everybody has that bell sound image within us. Okay. What is that bell sound image within us? Is like our happy moment in entire of our life. Okay. If let's say we are fall in some type of the habit, okay, and we are away from the non-habitual our state of affairs, then we have a till we have a taste of that non-habitual, you can say, our life. So with the help of that one marking, okay, with the help of that one test, one can move from this present state towards the whatever is the unaffected state of affair. So everybody have a that type of the bell inside of it. If you, even if somebody is forget about it, need not to worry. If we start tuning our whatever is happening in the current state of affairs, if we try to tune that, immediately our outer part is also going to going to change in the respective part. So when we want to look at our entire, you can say, this progress in our understanding of how we can change our life process, then how one can say that what type of whatever we are achieving, we are going in the right direction or the wrong direction. That means how we can mark our progress in this entire scenario. So to mark our progress is, for that we have to do the certain analysis. Okay, and based on that analysis, one can say that are we progressing, or are we going in the right direction or in the wrong direction. Okay. So how one can mark it? Very simple way. Habitually, when we look at how many time in the current affair we are becoming the sad with reason or no reason, how many time we are becoming the angry with reason or no reason, how many time we are feeling the jealous with reason or no reason, okay. How many time I am dragged towards, let's say, some type of the unknown habit of continuously watching some movies or something, going towards some gaming, or continuously taking the mobile in the hand, not able to leave the mobile. All that give us the idea that uh, we are going to progress in the right direction or not, or in the wrong direction. To judge, it's very simple. From the day one we are analyzing ourselves, after maybe 5 days, 10 days, 15 days, Whatever is happening is today, are it decreasing or increasing? I am becoming more happy or more angry? I am becoming more content or more discontent? I am losing the control over my mobile or not? Okay, so all these things, when we note it down, then only it's possible to understand either we are going in the right direction or in the wrong direction. Okay, so for that purpose, we're going to do the very detailed analysis about our understanding. Okay, few more aspect. Okay, few more aspect when before we go toward this analysis and understanding few more detailed aspect of it, we have to understand few basic about us. Okay, few basic about us. That means when I whatever is our age, it doesn't make much difference, because either we are at a 28-year age, we are at 30-year age, 40, 50, 60, or even more than 60 year of age. How we are living our life, that always matter, and on what basis we are living our life. Okay, so some dialogue, just again some story only. One person who is like analyzer, and one of the his student is reached to him. Okay, the analyzer asked the student, please try to correlate with your own life. Okay, it make huge difference when you try to correlate with your own life. Okay, with certain stories, analyzer asked the its student. Okay, student, who is living your life? Who is living your life, dear? Tell me. Students say, myself only. I am the living my life. Who will live my life? Okay. How you are living your life? Please tell me. I live my life, the student says, based on my desire and my understanding in all this thing. From where are you acquiring all your desires and understanding in all this thing? Okay. Let's say you want something. From where you are getting that you want something? Whatever you are doing, from where you are getting the idea that you want to do this thing or you want to do that thing? From where you are getting all these ideas? Then the student think for certain time and then say, okay, I am observing the outer world and getting certain ideas. Okay, or somebody very close of me are saying, okay, let's go for, let's say, engineering as compared to the medical. Let's go for the engineering as compared to the law. Let's go for the something else as compared to something else. I am interested in the painting, but because of certain reason, somebody says and I am acquiring this. That means you are not going by your own thought process. You acquire something from the outer side, and based on that side, outer whatever is coming from the outside, either the close one or your own observation, whatever you are acquiring, based on that you are reacting and formulating your life. That means you are not living your own life, you are living somebody else's life. You are trying to just player, or just the, you can say, actor in somebody else's script. It's not your own written script. Somebody wrote the script for you and you are just acting. It's not the correct way to look at. Why I'm telling to you, we have to judge what we are doing, what is our desire, what, how we are living our life, in what direction we are going. We have to find out based on the understanding and analysis. Whatever we are doing is based on our own interest, that means based on our own understanding, or we are acquiring that from the outer world. Okay, that means, let's say, as a boy, when somebody is at a age of something like a 12 year or something, at the standard of 6, 7, 8, he or she want to go towards, let's say, some type of the athlete game or something. Okay, but because of certain parent desire, he goes towards, let's say, engineering preparation, JEE. Nowadays it's very common to start the preparation of JEE at the standard of 8. Okay, but sometime as a parent we supposed to check with the kids that it's his way of working, or just we are putting our understanding on the road of the our own kids. Okay, why I'm telling to you, because either you are a parent or you are at the age whatever you are right now growing your own life. Okay, first check, first please check either you are living your own life or somebody else's life you are trying to live. Okay, if you are trying to live somebody else's life, then there is a no doubt that we always become upset and goes towards other state of affairs. Okay, but if we try to live our own life, then there is a always there is a happy state behind it. Okay, there is always happy state behind it. One story, one kids was playing. Okay, one kids was playing happily at maybe the standard one or two standard kids on. Okay, her mother was saying that okay, kids is playing, 1 hour pass, kids is playing, 2 hour pass, kids is playing, because kids job is to just play. Okay, kids job is just to play. Okay, nowadays scenario change, even the nursery kids also going for the tuitions, okay, or some classes, but in my era we hardly have that type of this stuff. Okay, but anyway, the different story. But kids was playing and the mother was working, and during this pandemic all the mothers is working from the home only, mother and father. Okay, so just kids was playing. Mother tempted to say something, let's mother say okay, 1 more hour, let her to play. Okay. 1 hour more pass, 2 hours going, kids was still playing. Then mother is mother, she has a certain emotion, so she immediately ask, please come over here dear, let's read something also, please go towards your homework or anything also. It's a mother, there is no homework, all homework is done. Then mother say okay fine, again kids was playing. Okay, then mother again tempted to guide her, then mother again say okay no problem, even though no homework, then also you can do certain practice. Okay, the kids is always curious. Okay, so kids ask why mother I should do certain homework, what is the reason behind it. Mother say if you do very good homework, then you get a very good marks in this particular first or second standard. Then kids say okay, I will get very good marks in first second standard, then what going to happen. And say because you have it to get a very good marks, then in the subsequent 5 6 7 8 standard also you will get a very good marks only, like that way up to the college you get a very good marks and very good degree. Based on that very good marks and very good degree, you will get a very good job. Kids was very excited, oh very good, I will get a very good job, fine, so what I will going to do with that very good job mom. Then mom said like that, like I am working, you also going to work, and what going to happen then mom, then you will always be happy. Okay, and kids say mom, without job I am always be happy, but it's reverse with you that I am sensing. Okay, so this is how the world is running. Okay, that means we always try to, as a parent, if you are a parent, then please judge your saying toward the kids. Okay, and if we are in the grown age, then please check whose life we are living. It's very very important. That analysis is very very important. I'm not against of anything. Okay, that means it's not like that way we not follow our parents saying or anything. We must follow it. Okay, but always judge our own interest as well. Okay, when we are across the 18-year age, we always have to judge our own interest as well. Okay, that is how we supposed to live our life very beautifully. Okay, so life, when we want to say we want to live very beautiful life, then very important aspect emerge is to understand what's going on wrong. And when we want to understand the what's going on wrong, we have to analyze something. So without analysis, do you know what is the sad part of it? If in when we ask someone, can you please analyze yourself, immediately question, that person will tell us, first you analyze yourself dear, then you ask me to analyze myself. I will say okay, I already analyze and I'm doing my analysis for myself, but please can you do your analysis for yourself. People are afraid to do their own analysis. Reason is, what do you know? When they do their own analysis, okay, then all the false side of their being will brought on the surface. Okay, when the false side of their being was brought on the surface, they become afraid. Okay? They become panic. They will not digest what's going on inside. Why? Because if we do the analysis, we come to know that I am continuously out of 24 hours, I am wasting my time of 5 hours on the mobile. That is unnecessary. I cannot digest it, and I cannot digest, and don't have a willpower to change that also. Okay, that is why the self analysis is always, you can say, tragedy for so many people. Okay, so but I assure you, please don't be afraid to do the self analysis with a very positive spirit. Okay, even though it brought out on the surface certain negative part of it, please grab it as a challenge, and with that challenge you can entirely turn your entire life. Okay? So analysis is very, very important. Okay, so let's move toward that part. We take 5 minutes break, and then we will start. For that, certain things I want from you. Please sit comfortably on the floor if possible. Okay, if you are in office or somewhere, it's fine. You please sit on the chair. Okay, because whatever we want to do, we have to go inside. Okay, and if we are relaxed, then when we are going inside, we will go towards sleep also. Okay, so I don't want that you fall in the sleep, but I want that you are completely awake, aware, conscious, and go inside. Okay, so that when we go toward the analysis, you will not work with your brain, but you will work with your own self. Okay, so I don't want that when you go for analysis, your brain will interrupt in analysis and give you the false satisfaction of the analysis. Okay, so don't do that. So for that purpose, we take a 5 minutes break. Arrange your mattress or anything so that you sit comfortably on the floor, and then we do the that next session. Okay, so I am here only I'm muting myself, and in the 5 minutes we are going to start. Okay, let's start. So please sit comfortably on the floor or on the chair or whatever you need. Feel comfortable. One rule, if you are wearing spectacles, please remove the spectacles because now you have to close your eyes on the. So close your eyes, sit comfortably over the floor, chair, sofa, bed, whatever you feel comfortable. But rule is very simple. Your back supposed to be erect, your neck is straight, and your head is straight. So back, neck, and head is in supposed to be in one line. Okay? So we're going to do certain technique to try to understand our deeper part of it. Okay, so when we want to jump, dive inside, we have to loosen the connection from the outside. Okay, if a very strong connection from the outside, it's very difficult to dive inside. So to loosen the connection from the outside, we first switch off our senses. Okay, so to switch off our senses, it's very easy to switch off our eye. Okay, because if we close our eye, then most of the destruction will be switched off very immediately. Okay? So please close your eye, sit comfortably, but make sure your back is erect. Okay, your head, neck, and back are in one single line. Okay, close your eyes, sit comfortably. Okay, we're going to do this certain practice for half an hour. Okay, and then immediately when I will ask you to open your eye, you have to look at the chat box, and there is one form, Google form. You have to fill that Google form. Okay, it you need not to write your name or anything. Okay, just the your own analysis. Okay, so and then certain part later stage I will ask you to write down on a piece of paper. So that's why I ask you to keep handy pen and paper as well. Okay, so let's begin this session. So close your eyes. I am also closing my eye also. Okay, spectacles is not required, so please remove your spectacles, close your eyes, sit comfortably. Make sure your back, head, and neck in one line. If you are sitting on the chair, then don't lay down backside. You should not touch your back to any support. It's supposed to be without any support. That is our energy source. Okay, so it's supposed to be in line. Observe your breath. You should observe your breath. How to observe the breath? That is very, very important. Okay, so one can observe the breath at two way. One way is to observe the breath at your nostril. Okay, that means the breath is coming in, and you are aware, or you are sitting at your nostril and aware that the breath is going in. Breath is going out. You are aware that the breath is going out. Okay, so that is one way. Another way is you're at the tummy, abdomen. Okay, your tummy is going up and down when you are taking breath in and out. Okay, so whatever is feel comfortable to you, you can observe the breath. Okay? So let's start. Observe your normal breath. Experience it. Breath is going in, breath is going out. Normal breath. Don't try to force it. Just look at your normal breath. Now we are changing our breath. You fill your lung completely. Completely, that means until you feel your own heartbeat. Up to that level, you have to completely fill your lung. So slowly you fill your lung. After your lung is completely filled, okay, in that filled lung, you have to hold your breath. That means I fill my lung very slowly, slowly. I filled completely. When the lung is completely filled, I hold my breath. Okay. So with that filled lung, hold your breath as much as you can. Okay. And then again release the breath. Again release completely. You feel that till the now the lung is empty, till push the lung. It, till push your muscle so that the lung is completely empty. And again, in the empty lung, hold your breath. That is one breath. That is a count of one breath. Like that way, we're going to count 5 breaths. So let's start. Fill your breath with complete awareness. You must aware that your breath is going in, going in, going in. Your lung is completely filled. When completely filled, how we know that it completely filled? Until unless you feel your own heartbeat. Up to that level you feel it. Then hold your breath. Up to that level hold, you able to manage it. If you are have a problem with the heart or something, then don't push your body too much. Based on comfort level, you do that. Release your breath completely. Your body is physically strong, then push your muscles so that entire lung is empty. You think that it's empty, till push. Some till air it will be there. And hold your breath. Repeat this for 5 times. After taking this 5 breath, again come to your normal breath. If you're done with the 5 breath, very deep 5 breath, return to your normal breath. Observe your normal breath with complete experience. Your eyes is closed. Maybe the surrounding sound is disturbing you. Again and again, you are lost in the sound or something. Come back to your breath only. Observe your breath, normal breath. Experience it. Experience, that means you have a complete awareness that breath is going in and breath is going out. Don't hold, just normal breath. Automatically, if it is become very deep, no problem. But don't try to tune your breath with the help of your mind. Observe your normal breath. Breath is always with us. We can use this breath anywhere we are just waiting. Breath allows us to anchor ourselves in this present moment. And if we are anchored ourselves in the present moment, we can observe our brain very neatly. So, very important is to anchor ourselves in the present moment. To anchor ourselves in the present moment, certain techniques are available. Out of that, this is the most easiest technique today we are going to observe. It's with the help of the breath. Now let's check how much conscious we are. Let's do our own analysis. How much conscious am I with my breath? We're going to now count the breath for another 10 minutes. How to count, please understand. Please don't see, it is very simple technique, but it's very powerful technique. Okay? Simplicity is the power. Please understand that. Even though it looks like very simple, but it has a power to anchor you in the present moment. And that anchoring in the present moment is the happiest moment in our life. So now we're going to count our breath. Please understand how one should count his breath or her breath. Don't force your breath to be deep. Let it be a natural breath. But you are completely aware. How to count the awareness, please understand it. We are looking at the breath at our nostril. Okay. The breath is going in. We are aware that something happening at the nostril in terms of some vibration, in terms of certain sensation. Somehow we are aware. At the beginning, it's not possible, I understand. But with the practice, it's going to be like very handy. So today maybe you will not grab it, need not to panic, need not to worry. Over the course of time, you will get it. And I am very much confident whoever try to find, he or she will get it. Okay? For that, our only keen interest matter. Okay, nothing else. So let's understand. At the nostril, we are sitting, and we are all allowing our breath to go in. We are aware that breath is going in, going in. At one point of time, the incoming breath, that is going in breath, going to become outgoing breath. That means the breath has to take the U-turn and it has to start coming outside. So you must aware about the turning point also. It's not just that we are aware, okay, breath is going in, going out. No. When the breath is going to become outgoing breath, the turning point for a fraction of second, breath is not going to in or not going to be out. That point also we supposed to be aware, and then the breath become outgoing breath. Again, we are experiencing the outgoing breath at the nostril. Entire breath is gone out. Don't push this time. It's just the normal breath. Don't even slightest muscle strain is required. Just ingoing, incoming and outgoing breath we have to observe. When the entire breath is came out at one point of time, it again take the U-turn and going to become incoming breath. So we are aware about that 2 point also. So we are aware about the four part of the breath. One part breath is going in, second part breath is completely stopped, then again it going out, that part, and finally again breath is completely stopped. So if you are aware about all these four part of the breath, count that breath as a single breath. Like that way, let's count your breath. Wherever your awareness is wounded, that means you are not aware about breath, start again. Start again. Okay. Let's see how far in the counting you reach. Let's start. You are observing your normal breath only. Don't try to change the breath. If automatically it's happening, it's fine. Whenever you are wounded, that means you are move away from the breath, reaching towards sound or some thought is going on in the brain, start counting from the breath number 1. Begin the cycle again. Now I'm not going to speak for another 10 minutes. You have to do the same thing for 10 minutes. Awareness is wounded, again come back. With the happy state of mind, again come back. Don't feel slightest tension about it. Even though you're able to count 1, 2 only, need not to worry. Don't be panic. Back to your normal breath. Stop counting. Come back to your normal breath. Another 5 minutes, we do one more, another exercise to observe our own brain. We try to catch a fish. I say fish, that means the thought inside our brain. Exactly observe your brain. It's sometime, if you are doing very first time, it look very difficult to observe our own brain, but it's very easy things to do. With full attention and awareness, try to observe your thought. Whatever is thought coming, just observe it. Don't try to change it. Like you are on the platform and the train are moving. You're just observing the train, flow of train. One train is coming, another coming. Don't board the train. That means don't go along with the thought. Just observe the thought. It's coming, fine. Just wait on the platform to arrival of the train, or wait at the riverside so that the fish will be catch. Let's do that. Look at objectively your brain with full awareness. Wait for the thought to emerge. Don't try to make any thought. It is a regular habit, so that thought will come automatically. Don't label the thought, just observe the thought. Please do that. And the 5 minutes, with full attention, please observe your breath. Sorry, observe your thought. Without your notice, not a single thought will pass through your brain. You are aware about your thought. Don't label the thought. Don't board the thought. Don't go along with the thought. Just observe the thought. At the first, I ask you to observe your breath. Then, whatever happens, we come so many times lost with the thought. That is the mind walking pattern. When I ask you to look at your thought, then you may anchor towards your nose also. No. You are going with the sound, everything, but we not able to see our thought very clearly. Either we board the thought and lost with the thought, or we lost with our all five senses. So this is how our mind will work. So we have to train our brain so that it will, as and when required, it will anchor at one point. Single pointed mind is very essential if we are building our career. Same way, aware mind is also very important when we are dealing with the outer world. So both the type of mind is very, very essential. We talk about this in the later stage. Now, I want this one thing you're supposed to do today in entire of your day. That is quite often, as and when you feel comfortable or become aware about this, our today's dialogue, observe your thought. Don't label it. Just become aware of your thought. That's it. If you are standing in the queue somewhere, just observe your thought. Waiting for something, someone, observe your thought. Just waiting at the red signal of the any of the crossing, just observe your thought. Just do one thing. You are sitting at home, observe your thought. At the office, observe your thought. Before going to the sleep, observe your thought. Wake up tomorrow morning, observe your thought. What thought is coming at first place? Just do one thing entire day. It will going to change a couple of things inside of you. You will not notice today, but it will definitely change something. Just observe your thought. So this entire day, because it is workshop, this is your homework. You have to observe your thought. You have to just observe your thought. If possible, keep handy small diary, pen, pencil. Whenever you observe your thought, mark 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We have that way, bundle of 5. That way you just mark how many times you are aware about your thought in entire day. Till we meet tomorrow again. You need not to tell anybody. It is for our own understanding. Okay? So tomorrow we go towards much detailed aspect of the thought process. Today we just want to observe it. First we have to acquire one, you can say, instrument or awareness, so that we are aware about the thought. Right now we are not aware at all that what we are thinking. First we have to brought in notice that what mind is thinking day in and day out. Then we can alter it. First step is to look at what mind is doing. Until unless we are aware what mind is doing, we cannot change it. So first aspect is to observe the brain, what day in and day out it's doing with us. That is what today is your homework. You have to do entire day as and when you feel comfortable. If you are idle, then just switch off yourself, sit for 5 minutes and observe it. Again do some work, again 5 minutes, take break and do it. Okay? Or while you are eating also you observe. while whatever you are doing, you observe it. Only one place you don't do this. If you are driving any vehicle, don't observe it. Let it be automated process. Or you are near to any fire cook store, don't do that. At two places, avoid to do that. Otherwise, any place you can do this. Okay? So that is just the suggestion. Now, I will release one link in our chat box. I yet to open that Google form. I will ask you, then you click on the link, okay? And you have to do certain analysis for your own good. Okay, so right now don't click because I didn't activated that form yet. I will tell you. Wait a minute. Let me check. We'll test it on all the groups. Fine. Okay. Before you open the form, again for a 2 or 5 minutes, close your eyes. So right now I say close your eyes. Concentrate on or your breath only. Observe your breath going in, going out, coming in, going out. Normal breath only. Observe your breath. Observe your breath for 5 minutes. Then we go toward this Google form so that we are little bit loosened with the mind control. So that whatever the answer come, it's come from within, not from the surface. I will ask you, then you start filling that form. There is no any your personal thing you have to write. It's just our own understanding. That's it. And please answer very fairly. You need not to showcase to anyone because I'm not asking you to write your name. So I also don't know who is writing and who is answering what question. Okay. Very much faithful to yourself. This is how we can analyze ourselves, and that is how we can move forward. Observe your breath. Completely concentrate at your nostril. Don't go anywhere else. Just anchor yourself at your nostril. Now, please open your eyes and go towards that link. Click it. Form is active. Please read the question and then answer correctly. These all are very simple and practical questions. Okay? That will affect our day-to-day life. That is only I am asking. Don't rush to fill the form. Understand and then fill correctly.
meaning to becoming silent in a day?
Wait for another 5 minutes. Allow to submit everyone response. Meanwhile, I will check some questions. I ask, are you becoming silent in a day? What I mean about that question is, are you don't doing anything, just taking one corner of your place and just sitting quietly and going inside or not? That is what I mean by that question. Silent in a day, that means can we observe ourselves? We become silent only and only if we can stop thinking for a couple of minutes, then it is a silent. If I don't speaking, that mean I'm not the silent, okay? Because internal all perturbation is going on, okay? Thought process, image, memory, emotions, okay? Silent, that means just switch off from everything and just sit quietly, comfortably, and relax way and happily. That is what I mean by that. Okay. during the breathing, okay, even though the breath is completely filled, I cannot feel the heartbeat. It's possible here. At the beginning, it's quite possible that we cannot observe our own heartbeat while we think that our lung is completely filled. Need not to worry. With the practice, it's come automatically. Okay? Don't try to enforce it. It will come. And I'm pretty sure in another week time, if you continuously do it, another week time, you able to get complete idea that now lung is completely filled, and you able to hear your own breath. Sorry, you able to hear your own heartbeat with the help of that. Let me check if anybody has any questions. Okay, so I hope everyone who want to fill the form, they able to fill the form. This form is active, need not to worry. Anytime you can, if not able to fill right now, you can fill at the later stage as well. Okay. Okay. So now let's understand. Let me check if any question, then I will answer. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to talk about our different aspect of the mind. Okay, and we try to understand that always we have a two-person within us. One is the, I can say it is the correct one, another is wrong one, or one can say it is a true self and another is the false self. Okay, so if we try to get this to think clearly, then certain aspect of our understanding will be sharpened. Okay, so about that we're going to discuss tomorrow about it. Let somebody is asking some question. Let me check that. Okay, what are the output of this breath exercise? Okay, so first output with this breath exercise, any time when you are very much upset, please remember, come back to this exercise. Take very 5 deep breath as I ask you to do today. Okay. Do it and again come to your normal breath. And with the help of that, when you become the aware of the breath, that means you become the aware of the current or now. It is, you can say, the key to get rid of everything negativity, whatever the upset, depression, loneliness, anxiety, jealousness, anger, any type of feeling is emerge in you. And if you come back to this single exercise, you going to become out of it very easily. Okay, so it is a very much powerful exercise. It is, I can say, with this exercise you can get rid of any negativity you have. Okay, it's, don't look at its simplicity. If it is highly powerful exercise. Why I say highly powerful? When you become aware of the breath, it's not that you becoming aware of the breath, it means that you are becoming aware of the present state or the present moment. And when you are becoming aware of the present moment, whatever the thought process is happening, you immediately have a loosen control over it, or that will not hold any control over you. That's why I say it is a very powerful exercise. We discuss about it in much detail about that. Okay, whether to listen brain or heart. So what is the meant by brain and heart here? Also, what is listen among these two? Okay, so brain, when somebody say listen to the brain or listen to the heart, it's completely two things. Listen to the brain, that means whatever we acquire in the entire of our life, whatever we acquire or whatever the stuff we get from the five senses is recorded in our brain. Based on that acquired our viewpoint, we're going to react. That is, we are working with our brain. Okay. If we loosen the control of our brain, then our internal center will emerge. That will say it is a heart center. It's not physical heart, please understand. Huh? There is a misconcept about the physical heart. Okay? Heart is the mechanical pump that will circulate the blood. Okay? But somebody is working with the heart, it not mean that it working next to the heart. No, heart work is to just pump the blood, but very it's as a metaphor. It says it is the center of our own being, and that is the, you can say, separate from the brain. Okay, so brain working or the mind working is related to all the knowledge or all whatever the concept we acquire based on our that habitual concept. We are reacting, that is we are working with the mind. If we don't react with our habitual way, but we loosen that, or we not allow the mind to control over any of the circumstance, and without any mind intervention, if we are reacting, that is we are reacting with our own core center. That's why we say it is we are reacting with the heart. Okay, so there is both the things is different. So that's why it's very important to listen to the inner voice, not listen to our mind. Okay? That's why in entire the workshop we have to have a certain understanding that mind always give the false signal if we not tune the mind properly. So if the mind is giving us the signal, we first have to check either it is correct, or with the acquired viewpoint we are getting something. If we are getting with the acquired viewpoint, we not should not react based on that. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so ambition and desire is in almost in one line only. Okay, ambition, when we talk about, let's talk about desire. Okay, so desire most of the time trigger based on the outer understanding. That means we see something, let's say as a kid. Okay, kids see some type of the pencil with their own friend. Okay, so they see something, and immediately we say, okay, we want this. Okay, so the desire always come, if we not check correctly, okay, then it's come from the want side of our understanding. Okay, ambitions is like our deeper understanding. Let's say somebody want to become a philosopher. It's his ambitions. Okay, but not its desire. But somebody want to acquire some money, it's his desire. Somebody want to buy a Mercedes, is his desire. Somebody want to get a some type of power, it's his desire. But somebody want to become based on certain knowledge without intervention of the upper level of the brain, and something coming from the inside, that is its his or her ambitions. Okay, I see different way both the things. Desire, that is it's coming from our just upper level of the brain. By just looking at something, we immediately react and get rid of something. That's why desire is always changing. It will never give us the lasting peace, because we acquire something, immediately desire change. We acquire next thing, immediately desire will change. Okay, but sometime we'll mm, uh, uh, mi- confuse with ambitions and the desire. Okay, so ambitions, ideally speaking, it's supposed to come from the inner side of our own being, not from the outer side of the being. Okay, so if you don't have any question, then we will meet same time tomorrow. So please log in the same link what you log in today by 7:50, and we will move on with the journey further. Thank you very much for listening me in with the calm and the good spirit. Thank you, and bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
thank you, dear. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, thanks a lot, sir.
Thanks, dear.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Bye, dear.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Same to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Bye bye, dear.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Bye bye, dear.
Bye. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Bye bye, dear.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Bye, dear.